for checking out Angelo Christian Live tonight. We've got a lot of stuff to talk about tonight, a lot of interesting content. So thank you guys so much for checking out the channel, watching us on Angelo Christian. Just pulling up my notes. I had a lot of good stuff I wanted to talk about tonight. So remember, guys, every Thursday, 7 p.m. Central, we do Talk with Angelo Live. It gets an open forum. You get to ask me any questions that you want with respect to real estate, lending, finance, credit. So that's what we do here with the channel. So thank you so much. I think everyone should be able to hear me okay. You can see me okay. So I really appreciate everyone tuning in with Talk with Angelo Live. So we've been doing this now. This is like since the beginning of the year, maybe I think we started Talk with Angelo, and it's been going really well. I really enjoy doing the show because I educate a lot of people. People educate me, they teach me, we ask a lot of questions, and I love doing it. It's been one of the best things that we started to do this year was Talk with Angelo Live, because, you know, people get to ask me questions. There's things that on the videos where they're pre-recorded and you can't really talk with me and ask me things. So here's a chance you can ask me anything that you want. There's a few topics that I want to talk about tonight. Remember, every Thursday, 7 p.m. Central, we do Talk with Angelo. It's all about consistency, delivering every single week, teaching you guys, empowering you, educating you, giving you the information, the knowledge so you can get the best funding, the best capital, fix your credit to the best. You know, we talked a lot of stuff this week on our channel about credit. So that's what we do. We try to deliver with phenomenal results every single week so we can help everybody to take their life to the next level, because that's what it's really all about. Hey, good evening, Angela. Hope you're doing good. So that's really what we try to do with our company, with our show, our channel. We're not just a YouTuber, we're a direct lender. We do commercial loans, we do residential loans, we do hard money loans. We've been doing this, I've been actively lending, you know, in America for almost 20 years now. And so I got a lot of stuff that I want to talk to you guys about tonight. Good to see you too. I hope you're doing good. Thank you so much for checking us out on the channel. So a lot of good things I want to hit on tonight. So again, you know, you guys you can see me on Instagram, official Angelo Christian. You can see me on YouTube, Angelo Christian. Hey, Lakeisha, good evening. Appreciate you, honey, for watching the show. Thank you so much. You can also see me on Facebook, official Angelo Christian, our website, officialangelochristian.com. And so, yeah, I mean, we produce a ton of content on the show, 4 videos every single week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday. They come to you in the morning at 6 o'clock. And we have over 700 videos on our archive, on our library that you can watch and tune into to learn as much as you want about loan programs, about credit, about real estate loans, investments, all different types of funding. And so, yeah, ask me any questions that you want. That's why we're here, to teach you guys, to empower you, give you the knowledge, the skills, whatever we can to take your life to the next level. Some of the things I wanted to talk about tonight, I have a list of a few things. The first thing I want to talk about is hard inquiries. And if hard inquiries are going to hurt your credit score, do you lose points by having a hard inquiry? The second thing is the difference between Credit Karma and FICO. I talk to, you know, literally I hear 100 times a day, why is my Credit Karma score different than my FICO score? So I'm going to bring that up tonight. I'm also going to be talking about relocating. If you're relocating jobs, how does that work when you're trying to get a home loan? So that's the third thing I want to talk about tonight. And then the fourth thing I want to talk about is if you have a second job, if you have a side hustle, you have a second gig, how long do you have to have that side hustle for, that second job, to be able to use that income? So those are the 4 things I wanted to hit on tonight. So, and obviously, if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask me those questions. I'm happy to answer those, get you whatever information that you need. But those are the main things I wanted to discuss tonight, because we're seeing these things come up over and over and over again. Oh, appreciate you for watching the videos. Thank you. That means a lot to me. I really appreciate that. So I hope that you guys are getting great value and content out of the videos. I really try to come up with good ideas, things I think that would be helpful and beneficial to y'all, to give you the knowledge, the information, so you know, you can be, you know, because knowledge that's used is very powerful. And so, you know, I want to make sure you guys have the information, you have the knowledge, so that way you're successful with your endeavors, with what you're trying to do. So, hey, Cherries, good evening. I hope you're doing good. Thank you so much for watching the show. And not only that, you know, we give away free prizes and stuff like that. That's just to help you guys out. Like, we give away the free Amazon gift card. So If I pay off my SUV, does that amount instantly come off my debt to income ratio? Yes, the answer is yes. If you pay off your SUV and it's paid off, or if you pay off 10 payments or less, you can potentially omit that debt from your debt ratio. So that's a great question. Yeah, and sometimes that's needed. Sometimes that's an important thing to help you to qualify for your loan. So yeah, that's actually a very good question. So ask me, you guys. You can ask me any questions that you want. That's why we're here, to teach you guys, to help you, to empower you, to give you the knowledge, to help you to, again, take your life to the next level. So anyway, oh, you're welcome. Thank you. So the first thing that I want to talk about is hard inquiries, because we probably get over 1,000 emails. We get over 1,000 emails, text messages, phone calls about hard inquiries and lowering your credit score if you have a hard inquiry. So I want to talk about this because, and I've done many podcasts on this, I've done many interviews. Thing is, if you want to get a loan and you're serious about getting financing, you have to have your credit pulled. And you're going to have a hard inquiry on your credit if you want to be able to get a loan. Now, that's not the same thing as saying that you need to go apply all over the whole world on Lending Tree and let 20 lenders pull your credit and you get your credit shotgun all over the universe. That's not what you want. And there's laws in place per the Fair Credit Reporting Act that allows you up to 5 inquiries within a 30-day window that you can get before your credit's actually affected. So when you're applying for a home loan, okay, you can have your credit ran up to 5 times within a 30-day window before it actually affects your credit score. So it's okay to shop for a loan. There's nothing wrong with shopping for a loan. It's a good thing. It's necessary. It's not a bad thing. The thing is that you want to be careful not to let your credit be shotgunned all over the place, right? You don't want to have your credit pulled in 20 different places. But talk to your lender before he pulls your credit. Say, hey, can we have a conversation? Can you do a pre-qualification with me before you run my credit? Let's see if I'm even eligible. What's your credit requirements? What's the loan requirements? I'll tell you my scenario and see if the loan's even doable before you run my credit. So just don't apply online and have someone run your credit. Talk to your lender. See if the deal even makes sense with what you're trying to do. And then if the deal makes sense, then go ahead and apply with them. Find out what the terms are preliminary. And then after that, if there's an initial pre-qualification, a pre-qualification is not the same thing as a pre-approval, but as long as you can remotely qualify for the loan, the terms are decent or good, then go ahead and move forward to apply, okay? Don't apply with the lender until you actually have that conversation with them to make sure that this loan is gonna make sense for you and it makes sense for them. It should be a win-win for both of you. It should make sense for them, it should make sense for you, okay? So that's a huge thing to happen because you got to make sure that your basis is protected, that you're covered, and that you're not just randomly applying all over the place. Because if you have too many inquiries, and hey Bobby, what's going on? Hey, what's up, Bobby? Good to see you, man. Hope you're doing good, brother. Thank you so much for checking us out. So the thing is that there's a difference between having a few inquiries and then having rampant excessive inquiries. If you have too many inquiries, it will hurt your credit. Okay, but understand this: if you're trying to get a loan, you have to have your credit ran. It's part of the process, and there's not going to be any way to get around that if you're serious about getting financing. A lender is not going to take you seriously if they're not able to run your credit. But at the same time, it has to make sense for you too. So just remember those rules, and you're going to be all right. Okay, when getting a hard inquiry on your credit, it's necessary. Just as it's necessary to put gas in your car or brush your teeth, when you're trying to get a home loan, you have to have your credit checked. It's just part of the deal, guys. So don't freak out, if your lender wants to pull your credit, but make sure that the loan that he can do remotely even makes sense for you with what you're trying to do, okay? So that's a huge thing with having your credit ran. If you guys obviously have any questions about that, feel free to chime in. If you have any questions, no problem to ask me. The other thing that I did want to talk about is Credit Karma. I can't tell you how many times in the week that, hey, Terry, good evening, how are you? Some lenders say it's soft inquiry, so that's what's soft. It still seemed to affect your score. Well, no. Terry, if you're getting a home loan, there's not a soft inquiry. So if you're getting a home loan, you have to have your credit checked. Now, if they're doing a soft inquiry on you, they legally can't give you a pre-approval letter with a soft inquiry. They can give you a pre-qualification, and they can kind of look and see, if they do a soft inquiry. But if they're not doing a real hard inquiry on you, they're not going to be able to give you an official approval letter or a verified pre-approval letter that actually allows you to go under contract. Some companies do offer soft inquiries. I'm not saying that they don't offer soft inquiries, but the information that's obtained on the soft inquiry is not going to be the same. It may not be the same exact credit score. It might even be the same exact data. So you have to be careful if someone is giving you a soft inquiry, because they may have to come back and pull your credit again and actually do a hard inquiry later. Okay, and if there's a huge change between the soft inquiry and the hard inquiry, I promise you they're going to go off of the hard inquiry. Okay, so, but anyway, that's a good question, Terry, about soft inquiries. So we've done a lot of videos on soft inquiries you can actually watch on our YouTube channel. So on Credit Karma, guys, I get this message, I swear to God, kid you not, 100 times a week. Why is my Credit Karma score different than my FICO score? I hear from people all the time. I heard before I came on this show tonight, someone was telling me that their Credit Karma said 700. And then when we checked their credit, it was 622. And all along, they're thinking they got 700 credit on Credit Karma. They're good. They're going to get approved for the loan, no problem. And then boom, when we checked their credit, Experian, TransUnion, and Equifax, and their credit score is 622. That's completely different, 622, than a 700 credit score. Huge difference to a lender. You're talking about like a 1% difference in your interest rate. You're talking about more money down, harder to get approved because if you have a 620 versus a 700. I'm not saying you can't get a loan with a 620 credit score, but it's a big difference on a 620 than a 700, okay? And so, and the thing is that people get upset because then they're like, oh, well, Credit Karma is a scam, it's not legit. I'm not saying that Credit Karma is not legit. I'm not saying it's a scam. I'm not trying to say that it's a bad thing. All I'm trying to tell you, the bottom line, is that lenders use FICO when they're looking at your credit to determine your loan and your credit score. They do not use Credit Karma. And you can look up on Credit Karma's website. Credit Karma uses the Vantage scoring model to get someone approved for their loan. That's the scoring system they use is Vantage. They do not use FICO. There's a difference between Vantage and there's a difference between FICO. Lenders use FICO. They do not use Vantage, guys, to get a home loan. So if your credit score seems higher on Credit Karma, that's because they're using a different scoring algorithm, a different system than what they're using for what lenders use. Auto lenders, home lenders, mortgage companies, banks, they use FICO. Commercial lenders, they use FICO. They don't use Vantage. Now that could change in the future, but that's how it is right now. Okay, so the bottom line is this, that if you're looking at Credit Karma, you're not even using the same credit system, right? So with Credit Karma, they're using Vantage. Lenders are looking at FICO. This lady's FICO is 622, but her Vantage score is 700. That's a huge difference, guys. And you're gonna have a challenge getting a loan, getting approved, if your Vantage score is 700 and you think everything's good, and then your FICO score comes back at 622. It's not going to work for you. So anyway, the bottom line is that, if you're trying to get a home loan, you're trying to get approved, follow the FICO system, because that's what's going to be used for the basis of your loan approval. They won't be able to use Vantage. And so, and again, I'm not knocking Credit Karma. I don't have anything against them. I'm just saying that make sure you check your FICO. Go to My FICO. Go to Annual Credit Report. Check Experian. Those are going to be more accurate to what your lender pulls versus what you're going to pull on Credit Karma. And if you look at your My FICO score and that credit score is 640 and you want to be at a 700, then you have some work to do to get your credit score up. Okay, so that's the difference between Credit Karma and FICO, right? Credit Karma uses Vantage, and FICO, lenders use FICO, and they use FICO score 2, 5, and 8. Soon they're going to come out with FICO score 10. But lenders, they use a blend of FICO score 2, 5, and 8. Hey, Ishmael. Yes, you could delete medical bills. Well, hey, Bobby, I'm just saying, I mean, just go look up your own Credit Karma, man. Look at your own Credit Karma and see what your score is, and then go to My FICO and see what your score is. Okay? I promise you they're different. So, what are you saying? Authorized users? Yes, authorized. That's a good question. Do lenders accept authorized users? That's a great question. So here's the deal. Lenders do accept authorized users. Okay? And it is piggybacking off someone else's credit. It's a tactic that's used in the credit industry to help people. Yeah, you need to have your own accounts. Bobby's right. You want to have authorized users, not bad, but they're going to look at it and say, okay, hey, look, you got to have some of your own trade lines too, guys, because if they look at your credit report, it's all authorized users. You don't even have your own accounts. The lender's going to have a problem with that. Now, if it's an automated approval doesn't really pick that up, but an underwriter, when they take a look at your credit, they're going to see that and they're like, look. This guy, all he has is authorized users. He doesn't have any of his own credit. That's not a good strategy, okay? A good strategy is get some of your own trade lines. It's okay to have an authorized user. It's not bad, but don't let that be your whole credit report, right? Because it shows on the credit report if it's an authorized user. It shows A right next to the trade line. So A, if it says A, that means it's an authorized user. And so, yeah, that's right. See, there you go. Your Credit Karma is 80 points more than your FICO. That's right. And unfortunately, guys, they're not going to go off your Credit Karma score. Your interest rate's not going to be off your Credit Karma score. Okay? It's going to be off your FICO score. So just be mindful of that, because okay, maybe your FICO is higher. Yeah, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that Credit Karma is always higher. All I'm saying is that Credit Karma is not the same as your FICO score. And understand that, because if you're going out there trying to get a loan and you're doing everything off of Credit Karma, what is Biden doing, Cherry? Supposed to transfer the credit bureaus and merge them into one bureau? I haven't heard that. That's an interesting one for me. I have not heard that. I'm gonna have to research that, Cherry, as I have not heard about Obama doing that. Biden doing that. So I'm gonna have to look into that and see. That's a very interesting. If I'll research that and see. That's a very interesting topic, though. I'm gonna have to look at that. So anyway, these are you have authorized users and secure credit card. Okay, that's good. That's good. Get some of your own credit cards too, like yes, by 22. That's correct. Okay, I'm gonna have to look into that. That's very interesting. I didn't know. I'm gonna have to look. I'm gonna research that on Biden and the credit. If you guys can send me a link to that, if anyone can put a link in the description on that Biden thing, I'm very interested. I'm very curious about that. If someone can put a link in the YouTube, or just text me a link to that Biden thing, because that's a very interesting topic that I would like to learn more about. Because that could be a game changer if they merge everything into one credit bureau. That could be a huge. That could make a big difference. So I haven't heard about that. Text it to me, please, Bobby. I would appreciate that. Thank you. So that's a big thing that I want to talk about. The other thing I want to talk about is a huge thing right now in COVID. You're seeing a lot of people relocate their jobs. They're doing a lot of job relocating. They're moving from, California to Texas, California to Florida. People are moving from, Nevada to Texas, whatever. People are moving all over the place. People are working remote. I'm going to tell you this. In my office building, there's probably about 500 people in my office building. 2 years ago, there was about 500 people in my office building. Okay? Completely full. Office building's full. Now today, there's probably about 40 people in the whole building. Okay? Now, where did all those people go? They didn't disappear. It went from 500 2 years ago to 40. So 460 people are gone. A lot of these people are going to work remote. A lot of these people are moving to different parts of the country. Why? Because their employers are letting them work from home. Okay, or they want to move to the beach. They want to move to the Vegas. They want to do this. They want to do that. And their employers are cool with it. Let them work remote. Now, that's fine. But what about when you're trying to get a loan? This is where you see a lot of issues and trouble, or people are moving, okay? They move from one state to a new state. What if you're self-employed and you're moving from one state to another? What if you own a limo service? What if you own a pool repair company and you're moving from La Jolla to Miami and you have no customers in Miami? What are you going to do, right? So this is a big issue right now because a lot of people, they're getting hung up with lenders. Their loans are getting denied because they're moving from one state to another. A lot of times they're not transferring their job. They're taking on new employment, right? Or they're self-employed and they have no business activity in that new state. So it's somewhat challenging. So I'm going to talk through some of the solutions of what you can do if you are thinking about moving from one state to another and how you can actually deal with that. Some of the legitimate ways on how to handle that. So the first thing is this. Obviously, if you're transferring your employment from one employer to the next employer, that's the cleanest way to do it. Hey, I work for IBM, or I work for 3M, or I work for, whatever, GE, and I'm transferring from one department to the other department. Everything's staying the same. My pay's staying the same. My job duties are staying the same. That's not a problem. Just give me a transfer letter from your employer. No problem with the loan getting approved. That's the easiest way to do it. Just a transfer. Now, what if you're not getting a transfer? What if you work for GE, but then you go work for Lucent Technologies? So you left GE and now you go work for Lucent. Same industry somewhat, similar industry. But now you have a new job, new employer. So you cannot close on your home with that new employer until what? You have an offer letter from the employer, right? And you've started to work for that employer. So now you're leaving one state, you're moving from California, you're moving to Florida, and now you have to have somewhere to live while you're working in Florida because your lender won't let you close on the house because you haven't started working for your new job. You have the offer letter. You're going to normally have to start working on that new job for at least a week or two before the lender will let you close on the loan, okay? Because you've started a new job. You just can't close, like with the first idea, transferring, you could just close without any interruption. But because you took on a new employer, if you're taking on a new employer, you have to get the offer letter and you have to usually start working there if you're going to take on a new employer, okay? So keep this in mind, guys, if you're thinking about transferring to a new job. Now, if you're staying with the same company and your employer allows you to work remote, this is a great option. And another really good idea I would recommend, if your employer will let you work remote, that's a really, really good idea. You can get a letter from your employer, your human resource department, stating that you're allowed to work remote. And if you're allowed to work remote, then it's perfectly fine. There's no problem. And then you can move to a different part of the country. Let's say that you're, a technical programmer and, you work for Houston, you have a problem. So let's say that you work for, you said Houston, let's say you work for NASA. But, NASA lets you work remote on the computer and you want to move to Alaska. You want to be up there in the wilderness, in the mountains. And you get a letter from NASA. They say, hey, you know what? Yeah, John Smith can work remote, no problem. Well, then you're allowed to work remote. You can stay working for NASA and you can move to Alaska. Even though NASA's here in Houston, you can move to Alaska and it's okay because your employer says you can work remote. So if you get a letter from your employer stating that you can work remote, then that's fine, you're good. So that's the third option that you can do. Now, if you're self-employed, that's the other option I wanted to go to. If you're self-employed and you've been self-employed for at least 2 years in your industry, okay? You've been self-employed for at least 2 years in your industry, you can get a letter. Now we're allowing this because of the COVID rules. You can get a letter from your tax preparer, your CPA, stating that it's okay for you to move to another state, and it's not going to hurt your business. It's not going to affect your business. So let's say that you're in the limo service business, transportation, and you're in San Diego and you want to move to Dallas, right? And you've owned a limo service company for 10 years, but I want to move to Dallas. Man, I've never even driven a limo in Dallas, right? Is what you'd probably be thinking. If your tax guy will say, hey, you know what? It's okay if John moves to Dallas. I don't see how it's going to impact his business. His financials will be fine. And your CPA signs that letter, then you're okay to do that for FHA or conventional loans, okay? This is a huge thing because prior to COVID, if you were self-employed and you were trying to go from one state to another, it was almost impossible to get a loan. It was very difficult if you didn't have time in that new state, years of business in that new state to get a loan. So this is a huge step forward. One of the positives of what COVID has brought out to help people that are self-employed, that have been self-employed for years, to get financing on their home loan, okay? Because if you've been self-employed for many years and you're going from one state to another, if your tax preparer will prepare that letter, you have a good opportunity to be able to get funded, to be able to get financed, because your CPA believes that your finances will not be impacted by moving to that state. So that's a huge thing. The last thing I want to talk about on relocating, if you're a W-2 employee and you're quitting to be a W-2 employee and you want to become self-employed, you're going to have a very hard time getting a loan. Very hard time. You have to be self-employed for at least 2 years before you can get a home loan, guys. Okay? So if you're thinking about, quitting that W-2 job to become a truck driver or start your own gig or do your own thing, I'm not telling you not to do that. I'm not telling you to stop doing that. What I am saying is this, that if you become 1099, you become self-employed, you have to have a 2-year history of being self-employed before you can get a loan. That's all I'm going to tell you. So just keep that in mind if you're thinking about getting a home loan, because you're going to have to be self-employed. If you're starting a new job and you just became 1099 last month and you're making all this money, it doesn't matter to the lender. You got to be self-employed for how many years? Not 1 year, 2 years before you can get a home loan. Okay? So you got to be self-employed for 2 years before you can get a home loan. Huge thing to keep in mind, because a lot of people, when they're going from from W-2 to 1099, think, oh, I could just, get a job for 10 days, a week, and I'm okay. I can go start working and buy a house. It doesn't work like that, guys. You have to be self-employed for at least 2 years before you can get your home loan. So that's a big thing on relocating. So, we talked about a lot of big stuff tonight: hard inquiries, Credit Karma, relocating. And I don't know if I missed any questions. If anyone had any questions, feel free to fire them back at me here in the chat box, because I know I was talking about some important things and I maybe missed some stuff. I'm sorry. Start new career as a mortgage banker. Oh, that's a good one. So I like that question. So start a new career as a mortgage banker. Here's the thing. It depends. Are you commission only? Are you a top producer? Are you working as someone as an assistant? Do you work at a bank? Do you work for a mortgage company? What are your goals? A lot of this is going to determine, because the work-life balance, the type of what you're trying to go after. Because in the mortgage industry, you have everything. You have traditional bankers that work 9 to 5 that make 40 to 50 grand a year, and they don't work weekends. And there's nothing wrong. And I'm just telling you what's out there. I'm not giving you my opinion on any of that stuff. Okay? I'm just going to tell you what's out there. So, and then you have that, and then you have the polar extreme, which is, mega king of real estate, king of mortgage, several hundred employees doing billions in business, and making millions of dollars. So you can be in a maniac freak working, a bunch of hours, and then you have everything in between that. Okay? You have everything in between that. So the banker, 9 to 5, making 40 to 50,000 a year, just does conventional loans, works at Wells Fargo. And then you have, someone that has a big, huge mortgage company. So it's everything in between that you can do in this industry. There's all different types It's not just like, some industries where, you're one thing and that's your job duty, that's what you get paid. This industry is not like this because, a lot of lenders are commission only and it's uncapped income. Not every place is like that. Some places it's, you're W-2'd. It doesn't matter how much production you do. They don't care. So it just depends on what your goals are and who you're working with. The company that you're with is going to foster certain values and culture that promotes certain type of behavior. So that's, you just have to see, what is your goals, who are you with, that type of thing, because it can be anything. It can be your work-life balance can be what you make it based on that. So I hope that helps answer your question. That's a good question. I like that. I like that question. So if anyone else has any questions, let me know, because I want to go into another topic about if you have a second job, how long you have to have a second job for. So yeah, if you guys have any questions, just shoot them over there. I don't have a problem answering. I'm happy to help answer your questions, to help you guys out. That's why I'm here. So I can help you the best I can on my side with credit, real estate lending questions. That's what I do. I do this every day for people. So I appreciate you guys for always watching the show. That's the one thing about me. Oh, 1 year for a second job. Yeah, you have to have at least 1 year for a second job. Yeah. That's right. You remember that? I think you won that question last week. Yeah, you're right. It's 1 year. You have to be at least 1 year on a second job before you can actually use that income. Now, some lenders will require 2 years. Some lenders require 2 years. We're good with 1 year. My student loan doesn't show up on my credit. How would that affect me for a mortgage? That's a good question, Rose. Your student loan doesn't show up on your credit. It may show up on a background report that the lender runs. Remember, lenders also run background reports, and it could show up there. So I don't know. I mean, why is it not showing up on your credit? That seems strange. Most student loans show up on your credit. It'll probably show up on the background check, though. So, because lenders, not only do they run a credit report, they also run a background report, too. And that background report can show stuff that the credit report doesn't show. Okay? So keep that in mind because, that report shows like hidden stuff like liens and judgments, undisclosed debts. So lenders run that stuff. They check that stuff out. And they take that stuff pretty seriously. Okay? So, again, that's, just out there. I have videos on that stuff talking about the background reports that lenders run. They check that stuff. But yeah, going back to the second job, you have to be on that second job for a minimum of a year for FHA or conventional. If it's variable income, like, commission income, you have to usually be getting that for at least 2 years before the underwriter will allow it. But if it's, hourly or salary, 1 year usually is acceptable for a lender. Most lenders, not every lender, a lot of lenders are 2 years. Some lenders are very strict. Some lenders, they do an autopsy on their customers. We don't really operate like that. We have rules where we are pretty strict. We're not very strict, but we want to make sure that our customers can afford the mortgage. Now, there are loan products that are much more liberal, much more easy to get. Private loans, hard money loans, but for conventional lending, they're pretty strict on the underwriting. Okay. So, credit repair company. Yeah, Tony, we work with Fortress. Fortress out of Las Vegas is the credit repair company that we work with. I don't own them. I don't have any ownership in them, but we refer our clients if they want to use Fortress Credit Repair. That's our go-to. Check out Fortress in Las Vegas. And if you want the information, I can send that to you. Okay. So, yeah, that's really, I'm sorry. Yeah, I mean, it's the reality of the situation, I mean, you're going to have a second job to use that income, unfortunately. So it is what it is. I know, I'm sorry that it's probably not what you want to hear, but it is the truth. So anyway, I'm really glad that you guys watched the show. I really appreciate it. It means a lot to me. We're really big about delivering great, explosive, powerful content, great takeaways that teach you guys, to educate you, to empower you. Remember, You can call or text us at 832-431-6331. Also on the YouTube, there's links down below to get signed up to get pre-approved. We're a direct nationwide lender. I appreciate you guys watching the show, the channel. We're here to help and serve, to make your life better, to take your life to the next level. So you can always reach out to us, call us or text us at our number. You can apply online with us. We're open 7 days a week to help you guys to transition to make your life better. So now I want to go to the Amazon free giveaway. Every Thursday we give away a free $100 Amazon gift card. That's what we do. We want to give back to our clients, our subscribers. That's right. Where America goes for lending. That's right. Appreciate that. So we're going to do our little lightning round, our bonus round, where we give away our free Amazon gift card. So that's what we do, how to help people out, and that's why we're here. So I appreciate you guys watching the show, watching the channel. It means a lot to me. We care about our clients. We try to serve and do the best we can, work nonstop around the clock. So for the $100 Amazon giveaway, the question that I have is, and I'm going to see who is listening, whoever responds first accurately and first is going to win the 100. It doesn't matter if you respond first, you have to respond accurately. If you respond accurately, then you win the $100 Amazon gift card. So the question is, what is the difference between Credit Karma and FICO? So what is the difference between Credit Karma and FICO? Difference between Credit Karma and FICO. Whoever answers that first and correctly wins the $100 Amazon gift card. So please tell me, for a $100 giveaway, what's the difference between Credit Karma and FICO? Whoever answers that first is going to win the $100 Amazon gift card. So please tell me, guys, whoever, Fiction is using Advantage score. FICO, Advantage is, no, not, someone hasn't answered it yet. Not right yet, guys. Lenders use FICO. That's right. But I need a better answer, though. What's a better answer? A full answer. Toya, credit is vintage scoring system in my FICO. That's right. Lakeisha got it. Okay, Lakeisha won. Lakeisha got it right. She said it correctly. Lakeisha, I'm going to give that to you. So, yeah. And Lakeisha got it right because she said Coco is fair Isaac criteria versus Credit Car Maker. Credit is vintage scoring system for mortgages. Well, Lakeisha had, hers was the most accurate. Okay? It's Vantage, VANTAGE. Okay, it's Vantage. And then the FICO 2, 5, and 8. That's right. So that's the difference. So everyone did good. I'm not knocking everyone. But Lakeisha's actually was the best one. So Lakeisha, good job on that. Really good job. So, and again, you guys, some of you guys, you're trying, and I appreciate that. We appreciate your effort. Don't think I wasn't knocking anybody here, but Lakeisha did the best job, that, in my opinion, on answering that the best way. Okay, so even if someone answered it first, it's Vantage score and FICO 2, 5, and 8. So Lakeisha, good job. I'm proud of you, honey. Send me your email address. You can always win again, but we got to be fair. We got to let other people win too. I'm all about being fair and trying to, and I really believe that Lakeisha answered that the best. So text me your email address. We'll get that out to you. Appreciate you guys. We love you with Angelo Christian, watching the show, watching the channel. Keep watching every Thursday, 7 p.m. Central. We'll see you guys. The TV giveaway is going out, next week. We're doing that again every month now, TV giveaway. Watch the show, watch the channel. We're giving away free TVs. The next one's going out next week. So, yes, TVs are only in Texas, though, because I got to drive to the location. Yeah, so I know. So anyway, I love you guys. Take care. Peace out. Make the most of yourself. We'll see y'all next week. Take care. Bye-bye.